Have you heard of Falcon's flight? It is the newest, tallest, fastest and longest roller coaster ever. At a whopping 639.8 feet tall, with a track length of nearly 14,000 feet and a top speed of 155 miles per hour, Falcon's flight easily beats all previous competitors, with the closest being King Dakar at 456 feet. The ride was manufactured by Intamin and is a steel LSM launched coaster, located in the new Six Flags Qiddiya City in Saudi Arabia. And what is this? I cannot fathom that this ride has managed to be built and open to the public, and I doubt it will stay that way for long. In this video, I'm going to look back at the history of record-breaking milestone coasters and to suggest the problems that Falcon's flight will likely face, which could result in its rapid closure. The previous record holder for the tallest roller coaster in the world is Top Thrill 2 at Cedar Point in Ohio, USA. Opening in 2003 as Top Thrill Dragster, the ride features a height of 420 feet and a top speed of 120 miles per hour, achieved using a hydraulic launch. Famously, hydraulic launches cause problems for rides, and Top Thrill Dragster was no exception, closing shortly after it opened due to a faulty valve and experiencing consistent downtime in its early years over issues with the hydraulic system and launch cable. In July 2004, 4 riders were struck with metal debris from the ride's launch cable, which resulted in minor injuries. Another issue involving the launch cable occurred on August 7, 2016, when it detached, causing the shutdown of the ride. On August 15, 2021, while in the queue for the ride, a guest sustained a severe head injury due to a dislodged metal piece from the train. This caused the ride to be closed for 2 seasons while it was investigated by the Ohio Department of Agriculture. In 2022, officials announced that the ride would be reimagined but provided little details. Cedar Point confirmed in 2023 that Zamperla would build Top Thrill Dragster's replacement. Zamperla chose to switch to an LSM launch to increase reliability, allow for lighter trains and therefore larger wheels, which in turn reduces cooldown time and overall maintenance. They also heavily increased the length of the ride, notably adding an equally tall spike to match the top hat. Top Thrill 2 officially opened on May 4, 2024, and was closed by May 12th as Zamperla rushed to make modifications to the trains. The ride stayed closed for the rest of the 2024 season, but made a grand return in 2025 as the tallest roller coaster in the world. As for Europe, the tallest and fastest coaster there is Red Force, an Intamin steel-launched giga coaster at Ferrariland, located within Port Aventura World in Spain. Since its opening in April 2017, Red Force has faced consistent reliability issues. The problems mainly stem from the LSM launch, with sensor malfunctions also causing issues. This results in very frequent downtime and inactivity from the ride. There is also common guest complaints about the roughness and rattle of the coaster, along with discomfort of the restraints. It can also be prone to rollbacks and is affected by the weather, high winds specifically, which again put it out of action for a significant portion of the day. In Asia, the tallest and longest coaster is Steel Dragon 2000, located in Nagashima Spa Land in Japan. Opening in August 2000, Steel Dragon 2000 was the second giga coaster ever built, has a max speed of 95 miles per hour, and has a height of 318 feet. In 2003, 2 guests suffered serious injuries after a sheared axle caused one of the trains to lose a wheel. This resulted in the closure of the ride for 3 years to ensure its safety. The ride reopened in September 2006 and was given new B&M trains in 2013 to improve reliability and comfort. Due to its location in Japan, the ride was built using more steel for improved earthquake protection. This, along with other factors, results in more frequent maintenance checks. For example, at the time of recording, Steel Dragon 2000 receives daily safety inspections at around 2 p.m. to ensure mechanical reliance. It also cannot operate in high winds, reducing its operating time even more. In March 1997, Superman: The Escape opened in Six Flags Magic Mountain in California, USA. The ride reaches a top speed of 100 miles per hour and a height of 415 feet and was manufactured by Intamin. Foreshadowing the rest of its life, before it even opened, Superman: The Escape was having problems with its LSM launch system. Even by 1999, 2 years after its opening, new brake frames were installed on the ride, and it was a big deal when both parallel tracks were operational. In 2004, the seat belts were altered to prevent incidents after one occurred on Superman Ride of Steel at Six Flags New England. In July 2010, the ride was mysteriously closed with no explanation and fans were left in the dark until October, when confirmation of the ride's retheming was given. Superman: Escape from Krypton opened to the public in March 2011. Hopes were high for improvements to the reliability of the ride. However, these were soon destroyed by the persistent downtime and issues faced by the ride. As Escape from Krypton was the first LSM launch coaster built, spare parts for repairs were nearly impossible to find, with many being obsolete by the end of its life. This results in a higher operational cost, something Six Flags is not willing to pay for, as these problems will likely just continue. In September 2024, the ride was closed for regular refurbishment that was made permanent by March 2025. In its final years of operation, it was rare to see both sides of the ride running, and it was clear to everyone that it wasn't worth the money, time, and effort to keep up. Superman: Escape from Krypton remains standing to support the drop towers, Lex Luthor Drop of Doom, which continue operation nearby. Tower of Terror at Dreamworld Australia was a very similar ride to Superman: Escape from Krypton, with both reaching a top speed of 100 miles per hour. Upon its opening in January 1997, Tower of Terror was the fastest and tallest ride in the world at 377 feet, and, just like its sister ride, it suffered serious maintenance issues all throughout its life. These included consistent downtime, which heavily increased near the end of its operation, often closing unannounced for weeks to months. The ride's age also began to show quickly, with Dreamworld not updating the control system or much of the ride, even with its transformation into Tower of Terror 2 in September 2010. Tower of Terror 2's LSM launch suffered much like many others, with parts for replacements hard to find and the launch losing its power, struggling to reach its regular speed in its final years. The ride closed in November 2019 to make way for new additions and to save Dreamworld some operating costs. Over at Carowinds in North Carolina, USA, Fury 325 is a B&M Giga coaster which stands at 325 feet, reaches a top speed of 95 miles per hour and opened in March 2015. Fury 325, for most of its life, has not had serious maintenance issues apart from a few stops in the station and lift hill. Most notably, in June 2023, a crack was discovered on a support pillar which resulted in the closure of the ride. Additional cracks were discovered and repaired, and the park hasn't had its safety inspection since. I would also like to quickly mention Goliath at Six Flags Magic Mountain and Great America, which also suffer from frequent downtime and closures along with rattle and discomfort on ride. And also Titan at Six Flags Over Texas, which has had small issues with the wheels melting and drainage. Perhaps the most famous record-breaking ride with serious issues is the Six Flags Great Adventure beast, King Dakar. The Intamin hydraulic launch coaster stood at 456 feet and reached a top speed of 128 miles per hour. The ride opened in May 2005 and was closed for 2 months shortly after due to a bolt failure in the launch cable. It was also shut for 3 weeks in 2006 for additional maintenance. In May 2009, the ride was struck by lightning, causing electrical damage which closed it for 3 months. Unspecified damage was done to the coaster by Hurricane Irene in 2011, which put it out of action for the rest of the season. King Dakar was also prone to cable snaps, which required specialist repairs which were expensive and hard to find. The hydraulic launch routinely failed, and within its final 5 years, the ride only operated 50 to 60% of the time. All of this resulted in extremely high operational costs, which led to its eventual closure in November 2024. From all these rides, you should start to notice a pattern with tall, fast, LSM-launched Intamin coasters. They suffer operational issues. From King Dakar to Red Force, these coasters struggle to stay open and consistent. And what type of ride is Falcon's Flight? An Intamin steel LSM launch coaster reaching a record-breaking height of 600 feet. I think that Falcon's Flight will follow the same path as all these other coasters and suffer breakdowns due to the launch and weather conditions specifically, as it is located in a desert basically. No innovation seems to have been made in how it will handle these issues, and we can only hope that the park will stay on top of maintenance to try and combat this. But then, Six Flags is very well known for not well operating their parks, so why would this one be an exception? I believe it is only a matter of time until Falcon's Flight goes down, and how consistent these outages will be we can't yet tell. But if you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments and we can have a discussion. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe or watch any of my others. Thank you so much for watching this one until the end. I hope to see you in another video. Goodbye for now.